Hey everybody, my name is Shawn. I'm a sports dietitian. So why I wanted to create these small little clips and videos on YouTube was to help you guys be able to have base level knowledge in nutrition or specifically in sports nutrition. Before we could talk about fueling, we have to know what the nutrients do for our body, how they're going to essentially help us in our performance or everyday life. And we're also going to need to know them before we can be able to introduce them and build our plate. And then also if we look at activity, how we introduce them and why they're important for that specified activity or your specific sport. So we're going to start out really simple and we're going to talk about carbohydrates. Okay. I like to use a lot of visuals instead of a lot of words, just so that way when you're trying to remember the word carbohydrates or carbohydrate, as you see on the screen, this will allow you to kind of have those visuals in your mind while you're thinking of that specified word. So two things I want you to remember with carbohydrates, okay? It either provides you fuel or provides you energy. And it doesn't just provide your body energy, it also provides your brain energy, okay? The brain is what's gonna be able to send signals and send what our body needs to do, whether it's me stepping across the screen here, whether it's jumping up and down, whether it's dribbling a basketball, throwing a football, right? It all starts here. So if we're not giving our brain enough energy to listen, to communicate, to focus, and then giving our body enough energy to then carry out the task, you can see up here on the very top left-hand corner, right, we're gonna be running out of gas, all right? So the analogy I like to use is, let's say I'm driving from Florida all the way up to New York. At some point in time, I'm gonna have to stop because I'm gonna run out of gas, okay? Your body's the same exact way, especially for general population or even athletes. If you look at an athlete, there's a lot of times they're training anywhere between 10 to 25 hours a day, which at times is almost, 10 to 25 hours a week, which at times is almost like a part-time job, right? That's a lot of energy that we need and a lot of energy that we're essentially burning. So if we don't refuel ourselves, throughout the day, right, there's going to be points in our day where our energy is going to be very low, all right? We want to be able to come into training where our energy level is full, right? Go to the gas station, you fill your tank up. Okay, my fuel tank is fuel going into a lift, a practice, a competition, right? We also want to have energy, especially for an athlete, high school, college, whatever age level it is. If we're going to college, if we're going to class in middle school or high school, right? We have to be able to focus and concentrate on what the teacher's saying just as much as we're doing when we're out on the field, focusing and concentrating and receiving information and be able to make those changes on your field, court, or pitch, depending on what your specified sport is, okay? So you can see I wrote carbohydrate, okay? Wherever carbohydrates go in the body, fluids are gonna follow, okay? Or vice versa. So it's very important, right? Like when I'm eating something to have fluids with it, right? Because if I'm hydrating and the carbs follow the fluid to my muscles or to my brain, for example, right? It's gonna move to those areas quicker, all right? So the quicker we can get those nutrients, all right, the faster we can fuel, or if we just got done with that activity, the faster we can refuel from that activity to be ready for maybe the afternoon or be ready for the next day and what we have coming up. So you can see I have a couple different visuals of carbohydrates, okay? Carbohydrates are gonna come from 4 different types of food groups: your fruits, your vegetables, your dairy products, and then also specifically your grains, okay? If you look at all 4 of those, grains are typically going to provide the highest amount of fuel or energy. So that's things like pastas, rices, different types of breads or rolls, potatoes, sweet potatoes. You can see also on the screen we have things like oatmeal, all right? So these are key things that we want to include during your breakfasts, your lunches, your dinners, all right, to allow us to have energy throughout the day and specifically if you're an athlete around those training times. So I hope this helped give you a basic idea of why we need to eat carbohydrates, what they specifically do for our body, and then also just a couple quick and easy examples that you can go off of. So when you're going to eat a meal out, or if mom and dad or yourself are making a meal at home, or if you're going to the grocery store to buy groceries, hopefully this provides you some insight on what to buy, why it's important, and then how you're going to help use this one piece of the puzzle to now then get carbohydrates on your plate at your breakfasts, your lunches, and your dinners.